Hello to the pointers, thank you for joining me again. Just a quick short video today because I want to explain 3 expressions that you can use to help you out of a sticky situation, so to speak. So those moments when you put your foot in it, as it were. And I think these expressions are really going to blow your mind, if you will. So yes, I've just used the 3 expressions that I'm going to teach you. So to speak, as it were, and if you will. Now these are expressions that we use in normal everyday English to emphasize that what we have just said is figurative. It's not meant to be taken literally. So often we use them with idiomatic expressions, as I just have, with a sticky situation, put your foot in it, and blow your mind. But when you're in an exam situation, in the speaking paper in particular, you'll probably be nervous. And you may find that you say something a little bit silly or inappropriate. And using these expressions after you've said that inappropriate thing, when you realize, that moment you realize, oh, that's probably not the best thing to say, then these expressions can tell the examiner that you realize that it wasn't the best thing to say, it wasn't really appropriate, but let's move on, okay? So I'm going to give you 3 more examples with each one. They all basically have the same meaning and the same use, so you can use them in each of the examples in the same way. So the first example, I can't live without my mobile phone. It's my best friend, so to speak. Okay, so you're saying that the mobile phone is your best friend. Of course, that's not literal, but maybe it sounds a bit silly in the situation. But just adding so to speak, it makes it clear. It's just a silly example. Okay, the second example I have for you today is so much waste ends up in the oceans. They've become the world's rubbish bin, if you will. Okay, so you're using a bit of a metaphor there. You're calling the oceans of the planet a rubbish bin, which, yeah, it's not a bad metaphor, but you just want to emphasize that it's not literal, it's just a figurative expression. So if you will, makes it clear to the examiner in this case. Okay, one more example. Cars will be obsolete within the next 20 years. They're on their last legs, as it were. Okay, so cars will be obsolete in the next 20 years. That could be true or not, but they're on their last legs. That's a good idiom to use, but with cars have wheels. So it sounds a bit silly, a bit strange. It's okay, but just using as it were really emphasizes that it's a figurative example. Okay, so when you're in an exam situation, when you're in the speaking part of the exam, and you say something that's not quite right, that you kind of wish you hadn't said, use one of these expressions and it signals to the examiner that you recognize that it's not quite right. It can't save you from everything. It's not an excuse for making vocabulary or grammar mistakes, of course. Unfortunately, there's no magic solution for that. Okay guys, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Okay, bye.